The Shannopin Country Club has been selected as a qualifying site for the 80th U.S. Women's Open. It'll be next Tuesday, May 6th. Shannopin joins a list of 23 total qualifier sites this year, including courses in California, Canada, Japan, Italy, and more. This will mark the 105th-year-old club's sixth time being selected as a Women's Open qualifier. Again, next Tuesday, May 6th, part of the USGA. And with that, we welcome you into a special edition of the TroupCast. Hello, everyone. I am Ed Troup, your host. Thanks for joining us here on oneBURGH on our Facebook channel, YouTube, or maybe you're listening back on Spotify. And joining me is the general manager of the Shannopin Country Club, is Mike Meissner. And Mike, welcome into the TroupCast. And we got a lot to talk about. You're going to have a busy week next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Ed, thank you for having me today. Like I said, not just a busy week, but a busy summer. Great summer of golf here in Western PA, and we can't wait to kick it off at Shannopin this upcoming Tuesday.
Mike, why don't we start and talk about this event this upcoming Tuesday? A pretty big deal in the golf world. It'll be the 80th U.S. Women's Open this summer, and you guys have been selected as a qualifying site for the sixth time. Pretty remarkable, pretty consistent too. The USGA, they must like you guys.
Yeah, it's we had one prior to COVID, and then 5 straight now coming up. So they've been a great partner with us. That obviously says a lot about how well our professional team is. Our grounds team, led by Sam Lobaugh, professional team led by Eric Teasdale. It's just a great partnership with the WPGA and the USGA, and we're happy to have them back. It really kicks off our year on the right foot.
The club is 105 years old, Mike. And again, as we said, this is the sixth time you guys have been selected. What makes this such a great location in Western Pennsylvania, on the East Coast for that matter, and just a good host site for the USGA to have this for the sixth time at your course?
Yeah, I think it just says a lot about our course and how it's built. Specifically for the women players of golf, not just here locally, but around the country and around the world. We're not the longest golf course, but we have a lot of nooks and crannies and greens that are extremely fast. A lot of great undulation, like you would see at Oakmont. So it really protects the length of the golf course for the guys, who can drive the ball 330, 340. Probably wouldn't be much of a challenge. But for our women players, they find the course extremely challenging, and I think that's what the USGA sees as well.
Mike, the history behind this golf course and your location for the audience out there, won't you tell us a little bit about where you guys are located, the history behind the course? We know you're not too far from downtown Pittsburgh, a little bit north, just going not east, but northeast.
Yeah, northeast, just right up 65, pretty much. So we're tucked. If you're going up 65, you get off at Bellevue and you kind of just drive to the top of the hill. If you're coming from the Parkway North, you get off at Mount Nebo Road, and you make a couple of turns, and we're kind of tucked up in the area there of Ben Avon Heights. So not many people know where we're at, but that kind of makes us, that best kept secret. If you go out onto our ballroom porch, it looks directly. We have a sight line right into downtown Pittsburgh, so you can see the entire skyline. Makes it really special for our guests and our members who have events in the ballroom. It's really just a special place, and it's beautiful, during the summer and even the fall and the spring. And like I said, the founders of the club, way back when in 1920, they knew what they were doing. It's funny how a lot of the clubs were built right around that time frame. A lot of guys who couldn't get into Oakmont, maybe they trekked out and just found their own piece of property and built a golf course. And we are very similar to that. 4 guys who kind of put their heads together, found the great patch of land up there on top of the hill, and carved out a great golf course. And what makes us special is our course was designed by Emil Loeffler, and he was a pro, a superintendent, a player from Oakmont. So that's whenever I describe our greens as being Oakmont like, he had a lot to do with that.
We're talking with Mike Meissner. He is the general manager of the Shannopin Country Club, which will host the 80th U.S. Women's Open qualifier this upcoming Tuesday, May 6th, at his course. Again, the sixth time that Shannopin has been selected to be a qualifying site for the U.S. Women's Open. Mike, you've mentioned Oakmont a handful of times. We have to talk about Oakmont. That's where the men's
Mhm.
U.S. Open will be held this upcoming summer. So there's a lot of excitement right now around golf with Oakmont, with what you guys are doing next week, and just overall, there will be a big spotlight on Pittsburgh here these next couple months in and around the game of golf.
I mean, you can't describe it. I mean, what the USGA has provided, for the city of Pittsburgh, for Oakmont, to call Oakmont a hub, and now knowing that we're going to have a championship event every 6 to 8 years. I mean, if you were to guarantee an AFC championship or Stanley Cup Finals every 6 to 8 years, we would take it. Um, what makes this better is it's a week-long celebration, if not an entire long celebration of golf in our area, and really it's a trickle down effect. We just saw that the USGA was going to commit $1 million to local public golf courses, and infrastructure in and around Oakmont and Plum and the city of Pittsburgh. It's just really truly a great partnership, and really benefits the game of golf greatly.
So, what's the hardest, the harder course, Oakmont or you guys?
Oh, again, you know, I would put our greens up there with them. Obviously, they have the length. They have a little bit more money to work with, but both are special golf courses in our area. And like I said, I'm just proud to be the general manager of Shannopin, and proud of our team to be able to host a USGA event, essentially right when the weather turns.
Two great courses for sure that will be highlighted here the next couple months in the golf world in and around Western Pennsylvania and the world for that matter. Arnold Palmer, of course, a golf legend here in all of golf, but especially here in Western Pennsylvania, native of Latrobe. He was the first. He won his first professional
Mhm.
amateur tournament at Shannopin in 1947. I was a little bit surprised to see that. And he once said that Western Pennsylvania abounds with excellent golf courses, and Shannopin is certainly one of them. I'm sure that you will find it to be true in a fair test of golf. Mike, that is quite the statement from the late, great Arnold Palmer.
I mean, if you want to talk about the Mount Rushmore of Pittsburgh sports, he's right there on it. And for him to win that first championship way back when in 1947, I mean, you talk about just being a great player and kind of springboarding his high school career into a collegiate career, and then onwards to being one of the greatest golfers of all time. He actually beat Knox Young that day, and Knox Young was one of our most storied, probably best amateur golfer in our history. He had a big time run through the 30s and the 40s, and he was a little bit older during that amateur back in 1947. So I'm sure that he was probably proud to say that a kid named Arnold Palmer beat him. But what's great is we have a picture of that day hanging up in the clubhouse that Mr. Palmer was nice enough to sign. And I actually was touring his museum a few years ago out in Latrobe, and he has the same picture hanging up in that museum. So that's pretty special as well. Knox Young, again, you can't say enough about a guy who's very accomplished in golf. And actually, right after the amateur or the qualifier here, we have our 41st annual Knox Young Memorial Tournament that kicks off the Shannopin golfing season here in a couple weeks.
We're talking with Mike Meissner. He is the general manager of Shannopin Country Club. I keep hesitating, Mike. I want to say Shannopin Golf Course or
Yeah.
Golf Club, but it is a country club, and it's a big time event coming up next week. They will host they will be a qualifying site for the 80th U.S. Women's Open next Tuesday, May 6th. Mike, can folks attend if they want to come out and watch this event next Tuesday?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a USGA event. It's open to the public. We just ask that you dress appropriately for the golf course. But it's really awesome. I mean, it's an amateur event. So really, you're out there walking right alongside of the golfers, which makes it super special. Uh, you can get right up to them as long as you're not in their way. There's no ropes on the golf course, so it's really just a special event to watch these women go out there and really take aim at the course, at our greens, and really the ultimate goal of qualifying for the U.S. Open. What makes the women's qualifier a little bit different than the men's is that there's only one stage. So whoever you see win on Tuesday, they're going to Erin Hills, and they're going to be on television playing golf, playing for the U.S. Open Championship.
Very cool. Very cool. Jensen Castle, who qualified at the Shannopin for the 2021 tournament, also added this quote: "The course is just as challenging physical as it is mentally, but it is very scoreable." And that is from Jensen Castle, who again won in 2021 at your course to qualify for the U.S. Women's Open. Another good quote among many compliments to your course. Mike, the popularity of golf, I know I've been playing casually, and I use that word key casually over the last 20 to 25 years. And I felt like when I first started, 20, 25 years ago, it was hard to find a tee time on a Saturday morning anywhere or on a Sunday morning. And then it kind of fizzled out within that, the last
Mhm.
5 or 10 years. But recently, and I want to ask you if you guys have seen a rise in memberships or a rise just in interest in the game of golf, because I certainly have in local courses that I've contacted and have played and have been out and about with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, COVID was that shot in the arm that the entire sport needed. Very much like the Tiger Woods effect that we saw 20 to 25 years ago. COVID was that same effect for our game. Obviously, everybody wanted to be outside, socially distant, a sport that you could do without having to be around anybody in particular. So the entire game, our entire industry was kind of boosted up by that pandemic, and really we're still seeing the trickle down effect here, 5 years clear of that, and really it's just such a special game. It's something that you can do well, obviously into your 80s. It's something that you can do with your young kids. Um, Husband and wives playing together, entire families, friends for life. It's truly a game that just brings people together, and I think that that's ultimately what people want to do. They just want to be around each other and have a great time. And if you're looking to have the best time, that's what Shannopin does. We provide those amenities and that experience for our members, and that's why they stick around for a long time.
Certainly seems like it is on the rise. That's for sure. The game of golf, once again, as you said, COVID definitely gave the industry in the game a jolt, a much needed jolt, because I felt like before then it was starting to die off a little bit leading up to that, as you said, about 5 years ago. Mike, last question. Who do you like this summer at Oakmont? We'll talk about the men's first at Oakmont. Any favorites that you think could come out and win the
Yeah,
U.S. Open?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a challenge. Unlike a lot of the guys who are right there now. Obviously, McElroy has the experience at Oakmont, and he's probably playing some of the best golf of his life right now. So expect to see him right there. But obviously, it's the U.S. Open. So I like my guy Scotty Scheffler. I think he shot 61 yesterday. He's starting to find his game a little bit. It seems like he can close his eyes and finish in the top 10 or the top five. So I think you're going to see a strong Scotty Scheffler contingent out at Oakmont this summer. And then, don't write off Bryson DeChambeau. He's got the strong following, from the younger crowd. So really should be it should be a great atmosphere. The U.S. Open anyway is going to be a great atmosphere, but it's going to be a little bit charged, I think, this summer.
Yeah, those names you just mentioned now, that's part of, I think, the rise of the game and the popularity back in the game is we've seen so many good close events, playoff type holes. The Masters, of course, had an epic ending
Hmm.
this past spring. So put that all together, and the game of golf has definitely been very enjoyable to watch and follow here leading up. In your event at the Shannopin Country Club, the qualifier for the U.S. Women's Open, any names we should look out for that you're aware of for this upcoming Tuesday?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have both Rachel Rohanna and Marissa Steen. They were 1 and 2 last year. Rachel Rohanna is local to this area, and she's a very accomplished golfer. So she'll be looking to repeat here to make it back to Erin Hills. Just a few other names on the list, as you mentioned. I think Jensen's playing again. She was, I think, finishing up her freshman year whenever she qualified for the U.S. Open back in 2021. And of course, she went on to win the U.S. Women's Amateur later that summer as a 63 seed, the lowest to ever win it. So she's a special player in her own right. We have a couple younger females. I think Alyssa Zhang is freshman or a sophomore in high school. She's one of the better WPO golfers. She'll be out there, and Eva Balger's on the list, and she came through the WPO, and she's in college now. She's an extremely accomplished younger player. So a lot of local ties. A lot of names that we don't recognize because they're from outside of the United States. So it really the competition's high, and again, these ladies and their families, they fly in from Japan, China, New Zealand to Pittsburgh to play at Shannopin for the hopes of making it to Erin Hills.
Again, the Shannopin Country Club will be a qualifying site this upcoming Tuesday, May 6th, for the 80th U.S. Women's Open. They are on the list of 23 total qualifier sites this year, including courses in California, Canada, Japan, Italy, and more. And this will mark the 6th time that the 105-year-old club will be hosting this event. Mike, if somebody wants to join Shannopin or wants more information about your country club, what should they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we had our membership director, Katie London. She's the best in the game. So you call the club, you ask for Katie London. She can provide all of those details, and we hope to. If you're interested, we hope to see you at some point this summer because Shannopin just keeps getting better. We keep adding amenities. We keep providing great value for the membership.
And what a good opportunity this Tuesday. If you are interested in Shannopin as being a possible member or playing it at some point, go out on Tuesday and you're able to walk the course and check it out firsthand, right?
Yeah, come check it out. It's a great experience. Like I said, if you remember the 2021 U.S. Amateur at Oakmont, same thing. No ropes, people walking right behind the players. It's truly a great golf experience.
Mike Meissner, thank you for coming on the TroupCast this week. Best of luck on Tuesday and this summer. As you said, it's just the start of what's going to be a busy summer for you guys.
Absolutely. Ed, thank you. Thank you for what you do for the game of golf, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
All right, we'll get you back on, Mike. Maybe around the U.S. Open time, we can talk some U.S. Open golf too, being that it's at Oakmont. That's going to do it for the TroupCast for this week. We will join you here soon again on oneBURGH next week with some exciting guests. We'll have some Steeler draft talk as well with Ray Fittipaldo coming up next week. And we have the Ryan Shazier Fund, the race for the black and gold tonight, Friday, and we'll be airing highlights from that as well here in the next week right on oneBURGH. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you soon.